In May 2024, protests and riots happened in New Caledonia, a special region of France in the Pacific Ocean. The violent protests have caused 6 deaths, led to the banning of TikTok, and resulted in a state of emergency being declared. First, we will explore the unique story of New Caledonia, a beautiful French overseas territory in the Southwest Pacific. New Caledonia is home to about 270,000 people. The indigenous Kanak people make up 44% of the population. The mainly French Caledonia make up 34%, and the rest include various ethnic groups like Walisians and Tahitians. New Caledonia became a French overseas territory in 1946. It has representatives in both houses of the French Parliament, and the President of France is the head of state. France is responsible for New Caledonia's defense and internal security. In 1988, there was significant political violence between the Caledonia and the indigenous Kanaks. To address this, the Matignon Agreements were signed, starting the transition to more autonomy for New Caledonia. This was followed by the Noumea Accord in 1998. The accord allowed New Caledonia to hold 3 referendums to decide its future status. Only indigenous Kanaks and residents living in New Caledonia before 1998 could vote in these referendums. Today, New Caledonia enjoys a large degree of autonomy as a sui generis collectivity within France. This means it has a unique status, allowing it to govern many of its own affairs while still being part of France. New Caledonia's journey from a French territory to a largely autonomous region is a fascinating story of cultural diversity, political struggle, and peaceful agreements. But in May 2020, 4 protests and riots happened in New Caledonia. The violence started because of a new voting reform. This reform aimed to change the current rules that stop up to 1/5 of the population from voting in local elections. According to the Noumea Accord, only people who lived in New Caledonia before 1998 and their descendants who have lived there continuously for at least 10 years can vote in local elections. This rule excludes many migrants from European and Polynesian parts of France, including their adult children. In 2005, the European Court of Human Rights said this system was acceptable as a temporary measure to help with decolonization. New Caledonia had 3 recent referendums in 2018, 2020, and 2021 to decide if they should become independent from France. The first 2 referendums had close results, with high participation rates of 81% and 86%, but both rejected independence. The third referendum in 2021 had a low participation rate of 44% because many independent supporters and indigenous people boycotted it, saying it was not legitimate. The government thinks these referendums show that the process from the Noumea Accord is finished and wants to change the voting rules. The French government wants to allow people who have lived in New Caledonia for more than 10 years to vote in local elections. This reform would let more people of European and Polynesian descent vote, which independence supporters say would weaken the political voice of the indigenous Melanesian Kanak people. The new voting reform has caused significant unrest in New Caledonia, leading to violent protests, deaths, and a state of emergency. The situation shows the deep divisions and ongoing challenges in the region. Thanks for joining us on this exploration of New Caledonia and currently having unrest. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to History First for more insightful content.